Do we need to do a clappy thing? 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry, girl.
Episode 2 in it, so we're just in.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Wong Decision. This is the podcast where two northern boys talk about another northern boy, Benedict Wong, fantastic actor, and each week we go through one thing that he's been in.
To be fair, I've been referring to it as the Wong stuff.
Okay.
The opposite of the white stuff.
Of the white stuff.
The right stuff.
Is there anything to the fact that we're white and we're talking about Wong? Two whites and Wong.
Two whites don't make a Wong.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we need to not do that because it's a little bit taking the piss out of someone's heritage.
Yeah, that was a thought that occurred to me, and it wasn't until we were into like doing our prep for this first episode, these first episodes, I should say.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, there's an element of this that I hadn't thought of. It was when it was for this episode, Marco Polo.
Yeah.
So I googled it. I went like, Marco Polo, just watch, to
see where it was.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
So I could find the thing. And I saw an article from The Guardian, and it said like, Benedict Wong this close to quitting after being offered one too many racist stereotype parts.
Oh shit!
And I was like, if that's part of this guy's vibe, we might not be equipped to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
This could pose an issue.
Absolutely.
But then I was wondering, like, I was like, oh, that's really interesting because I don't think of him that way. I'm just like, oh, he seems like he's quite local to me somehow. Yeah,
he always plays very personable characters as well, like relatable.
Yes.
And like I know some stuff he's a literal superhero magic person.
Yeah.
But like generally his vibe tends to be one of like relatability and like being down to earth. Therefore, I think you're like, oh, he's just my pal. I don't have to think about that stuff. But really, it's like, oh, actually, you really should think about that stuff.
I guess we should. That's probably part of it.
I would say we are here to revere him.
Yeah. Rather
than, I know it's a funny title, but like other than that.
Yeah, no. We are totally. Because what is your past relationship with Benedict Wong? How do you feel about him as an actor?
With Ben Dubs.
The big Ben Dubs, yeah.
I have to say, when you approached me for this podcast, I was like, that is the most... I could have named 1,000 people and I wouldn't have named Benedict Wong. But it also made complete sense. So my relationship with him is that he's one of those guys who turns up in things and he grounds it in a way that very few actors can do. And the ones who tend to do that tend to be in small, grounded stuff, rather than someone who's a Marvel superhero turns up in a local whatever thing, like small thing, and you're like, oh, this guy's like super chill or whatever. Normally, someone who's a superhero turns up and you're like, whoa, the star has arrived. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr.
That,
whatever.
Chest out. Man energy.
Even if it's not a superhero thing, it's just like a blockbuster thing. And when I went through his filmography, I was like, holy shit, this guy's in so many different things.
Of like such different
scopes,
caliber and stuff, yeah.
So initially, to make a long answer short, I thought it was comically weird that you picked him. And then immediately, or within 30 seconds, was like, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
He's the perfect guy for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Because you hit the nail on the head with what I like about this guy is I recognized his face initially from stuff like the Peter Serafinowicz show, like old sketch comedy.
Yeah,
and he's just he's just in the milieu, and then I guess a little bit like milieu. Is that right? Am I using that word right?
I go milieu.
Milieu.
I think, but I don't. Yeah, I think you've used it correctly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And I guess a little bit like Olivia Colman, and how she also was like in these sketch comedy things, and then she's in Peep Show, but in like her role is she's just there to like annoy Mark basically.
Yeah.
And then she just keeps going, and then it's like, oh shit, she's like, has she got an Oscar? She certainly was nominated heavily.
Sure, she's definitely been nominated numerous times, but I'm pretty sure she's won.
Right, and now she's one of those names where it's like, oh, like Olivia Colman is in this. This is now high caliber, revered thing.
And is there anything to the fact that both the people we've mentioned are British?
I think so. I think that's part of what I like about it.
Yeah.
But I think Wong more so than Olivia Colman, because Olivia Colman presents as being Southern, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas I was thinking about this because I was looking at a couple of interviews as well over the last couple of days, and I was like, where is Benedict Wong from? And I quite deliberately didn't just Google for the answer to that because I'm a huge fan of questions.
Right.
And I wanted to try and piece it together over time. But I accidentally stumbled across it. And he's from Salford.
I fucking knew it.
Right, is that what you were going to have guessed?
Yeah, because Shell, my wife, we're doing our homework for this podcast, and she said something about an accent in something, and she was like, he's really good at that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's from Manchester.
Right, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he is from Manchester, but I don't know how I know that or why I would know that. I've never looked it up. I specifically hadn't looked it up in preparation for this.
That's fun.
Approach it like the listener might approach it. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he is from Manchester. Like the way that accent, in the way that he does it, just feels so natural. It doesn't feel like an American person doing that accent or a Southern person putting on that accent.
And what was that in? Was that in 9 Days?
That was in 9 Days, yeah.
And that just is his voice, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not putting on anything for that.
Not putting on anything, yeah.
Ah, but Shell was thinking, oh, is he like doing this accent?
Yeah, well, because everyone else in the film's American, right? Like, pretty much.
Yes, good point.
So she was thinking that like he'd been given that accent as a way of giving him, one, to differentiate him from the other people because he's got a different role, but also to like make him feel more homely or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like, nah, that's just his voice.
Yeah, that's actually.
But I don't
voice.
know how I knew that. I think it's just because it resonates through him. He's just authentic. He just resonates authenticity.
Yes, I think that accent when he's doing his normal voice.
Yeah.
It feels like that's his normal voice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's certain people that you watch and you go, are they from there? And then you look it up and they are, and you're like, oh, they just sound like they're doing an impression of someone from there.
Oh, right. So you can have this the other way, can you?
There's certain people, like we were chatting about it prior to recording, but there's certain people that I've watched recently in shows doing a Scouse accent. We're in Liverpool at the minute. Obviously, neither of us are from Liverpool. My wife's from Liverpool, and we've been here, for years.
13 years or something.
And like you hear a Scouser in a show and you go, God, that's a bad Scouse accent. And then you look it up and you're like, oh, they're a Scouser.
Okay. Oh, like, is that what you were saying about the wife in adolescence?
Yeah.
And you were wondering whether she's actually Scouse or not?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Christine, whatever your name is, but you just sounded like you were doing an impression, but she wasn't. She was a Scouser.
That's interesting.
So like, I think there's a world in which people can come across as a bit like a bit by gum, I'm a northerner.
Yeah.
Where he just feels that like he is a northerner.
Yeah.
And that, that's part of his appeal, his authenticity, his homeliness, and it does come across quite well in his general kind of aura.
I think it does, and I think that segues us beautifully into a role where he's not doing an accent, he's just being himself naturally.
Certainly has an aura.
When he's playing Genghis Khan's grandson in Marco Polo.
From Manchester.
I need to look it up. What's his character's name again? It's something Khan, isn't it?
It's Kublai Khan, isn't it?
Kublai Khan.
Is it Kublai Khan?
Is that the little guy with the yellow shell in Mario? Oh, my phone died.
Well, I guess I've got it. But we'll we'll chat a bit and then I'll come back around and it'll be like seamless. Like I haven't just looked it up.
Okay, that was what the Guardian article that I saw was in relation to. Is he's like I'm an actor and I feel as though I'm being hired just for the color of my skin.
Right.
And he gets slightly annoyed by all these parts. But
it's Kublai Khan. It's like I might be mispronouncing it, but Kublai. Kublai Khan.
Now, if we'd have watched more than just one episode of this show, we'd probably have the guy's name by now.
Yeah. Can we? I know this is meant to be about Benny Dubs, and not necessarily about the quality of the shows. Will you be continuing to watch Marco Polo?
No. I don't foresee that I will.
Oh, it was a tough hour, that.
How do you feel about, because for me, I'll tell you what, let me tell you my journey of how I got into this show. Okay,
go on.
So in prep for this, I was like, oh, what's his, big stuff that he's known for? And this was number 1 on IMDb.
Yep.
And attached to that information was a sort of like a cool looking in-character shot of Benedict Wong in like a beige suit with sunglasses. And I was like, oh, sick. This looks like some sort of like CSI. Maybe he's like a detective or like a...
Suit as in like like a
linen,
3-piece suit.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
With I might be misremembering, but in my head it's like white shirt, top button not done up.
Okay.
And then very pale beige suit with like navy blue sunglasses, and he's out like doing some like cool cop stuff or something.
Okay.
And it's like Marco Polo, his top thing on Netflix, on IMDb, and I was like, okay, this show looks great. It's his top known for thing. He's about to be the lead cop in some procedural. I don't know. I was like, this looks sick.
Yeah.
And then I open up Netflix. It's Marco Polo. I see the imagery and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this looks like 13th century epic warriors. I was like, this is really not what I was in for. And then I like went back out of Netflix, went over to Google, and I was like, I basically was confirming, like, am I watching the right thing here?
Yeah.
And Google was like, yeah, that's the thing. And I was like, fuck. And then at this point, we were too deep in for me to then go, oh, mate, I've made a mistake. Let's change the options. And I'm looking, and you know the feeling of like, I don't know, like reading a book because your teacher told you to or something?
Yes.
I struggled to watch this show because it's just not my speed.
No, it's not my jam. Not my jam at all. I mean, I gotta be cards on the table. When Benny W, when Mr. Wong wasn't on screen,
Bend-ups.
I just 1.5'd it. On
wow.
Netflix.
Okay.
And I have never done that in my life.
I love that.
I think I got half an hour in, and then there was like a sex scene, and there's a scene of them trekking across the Silk Road or wherever they're going.
Yes.
I just 1.5'd it.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, this is hard to get through.
Isn't that amazing that we're so early into this process?
Mm.
And day one, we already have had to be speed running through stuff.
Yeah. So his article that you mentioned and about him being like typecast for being of Asian descent, do you reckon that's related to Marco Polo? Because it's not great, is it? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it got quite a few seasons, right? I think it was
3 seasons, is it?
I think it did well. I think people like it, you know?
Right.
Maybe it's because when was it from? 2014?
Yeah, 2014.
So maybe with 2025 eyes, it doesn't look so great. But maybe at the time, I think they were saying that apart from Game of Thrones, it was the highest budget TV ever. Is that what it said? I should really know that. It was something along those lines.
It got 2 seasons between 2014 and 2016.
Okay.
And it does have, episode ratings, like the series finale is an 8.4 on IMDb, and there's ones that are getting as high as 8.6. And that first episode that we watched is a 7.3. And it's probably the lowest rated episode out of all of them.
That is interesting. I certainly didn't rate it.
No, I definitely didn't rate it. I think part of it, though, is like stuff's happened since doing sort of period dramas that are much better, or like that kind of aesthetic.
For me, I don't think it even is that. I think for me, I've never engaged with anything in that kind of period drama world. I don't know what it is. I think if they did the Harry Potter thing and they start it with a character who lives in like 2020 and not that'd be crazy because it came out in 2014, but somebody who lives in like 2014 Skelmersdale, and then they find this thing and they go and travel to 13th century whatever, I might be like, all right, I'm here for this.
Okay.
But not having a POV character that has a world that looks anything like mine
doesn't do anything for you.
I never tend to get into them.
Yeah. To just finally touch on the show before we talk about him, I guess, for me it all felt a bit school kind of field trip.
Yeah.
We've gone to visit something and there are actors dressed up in these like shawls. Like, don't get me wrong, Benedict Wong, when he's on screen, he's supposed to have this presence of being this massive godlike character. And I did get that from him.
He does.
But it still felt like it was Benedict Wong dressed up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was weird how there was a bit in it that really took me out of it. And this is like, I put a coin in like the potentially unnecessary woke jar.
Right.
But when Benedict Wong is talking to the Marco Polo guy, and he's like, once you've proven yourself to me, you can fuck any of these women that I have, like Playboy bunnies that just knock about that I employ in my staff.
Yeah.
But until such a time, look but don't touch.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so the show is set a really long time ago, but it did come out in 2014.
Yeah.
I'm like, they've not done anything to subvert that, and you're literally seeing shots of these beautiful naked women knocking about, which feels like the show wants the viewers to be just completely on side and be like, oh yeah, I want to fuck those women. So I hope that he gets the favor of Khan.
Yeah.
I was like, it's weird.
So I completely agree. It was like a slightly leery.
Yeah, exactly.
If we were to move it back to Mr. Wong, he's well cast.
Yeah.
I know he might have an issue with it, and I can appreciate that issue, and I cannot necessarily even relate to that issue.
Yes.
So, like...
It's a good caveat.
You know, I appreciate his grievances with being typecast with stuff like that. But he's brilliant casting for that role.
Yeah, he's good.
Like, have they made him look bigger? Did he put on weight
yes,
for it?
Both those things, apparently.
Right, okay.
They said he put on about 2.5 stone.
Right.
And they also did...
Of muscle or fat?
I think fat.
Okay. Because back then, I guess...
That's not for me to say.
But I guess, like, back then, the kind of the weighty... Like, the whole Henry VIII thing of being overweight meant you had, like, riches and...
Enough money to eat.
Yeah. So I guess it doesn't matter if it's muscle or fat.
Yeah, fair, actually.
Just being big.
And then also, I think this was all from that Guardian thing that I saw, but Ben Dubs was saying that the costume department also did great stuff.
Right.
Making him look large.
Yeah, because he was huge.
Yeah, and he's not massive, is he? He's like,
I don't think so.
5'9" or something. He's
Is he?
like, I think he's quite...
Like, great height, perfect height.
Is that the perfect height?
I'd say he was perfect height.
I'd say it's probably about 5 inches taller than
Bit too
anybody
tall
really needs
for
to
you.
be.
No,
Yeah.
I think he's bang on.
Oh yeah, but to the point of him feeling typecast, I think that was before this, and I think that was when he was going up for like a one-line role as the guy who works in the takeaway.
Oh right.
And he said this article, it shouted out like it threw Phoenix Knights under the bus, and he was saying that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
Was he was waiting for an hour and 40 minutes for his audition, and then they didn't call him in the end, and. So
even to audition.
No, so he's like in the room next to the audition room for an hour and 40 minutes after his scheduled time, and then apparently nobody even said sorry or anything. It was just like, oh, you're not needed.
Yeah, God, that would suck for anyone. Let alone going for something that you don't even want for a role that is like hard to get because of the typecast nature of it all and all that sort of stuff.
That's actually brutal, isn't it? That's like the have you heard that Jim Carrey thing where he talks about his dad worked in finance but didn't want to, and then lost his job and lost everything, and he's like, you can fail at the thing that you don't want, so try for the thing that you do want.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like Ben. We've got a moany doggy here right now. I'm gonna have to draw. You're so moany. I'm even gonna have to draw attention to it on the podcast.
Hey.
So like he's going. He's not like he's even going for the role of a lifetime to be the lead in something, and I'll wait days to find out if I've got it because the reward is so worth it. It's like, oh, here's this little like token part, and we're gonna just like draw it out and just have no respect for the people in the room.
Yeah,
and all you're gonna get at the end of it is.
Isn't that often the way? Like where they say the jobs that you do for free are going to be like the most cunty, annoying jobs, and it should be the other way around. It should be like, oh, we're not paying you, so we're going to be so grateful for your time and everything. But it
100%
just never seems to be that way, does it?
Yeah. I reckon he's got to be like, he's got to have that experience of that in Britain as well. It's got to be brutal. That's just very different in America. I'm not saying it doesn't exist in America, but in Britain, in the north, coming from the north, it's got to be brutal.
That was one thing that he was saying, is like that the world of TV is still miles apart from the actual world, where he was like, in the actual world, we know that it's normal for like Asian men to be knocking about doing all sorts of different jobs. Yeah. Using Asian men as, the example that he is, not as the only subset of people that matter for this kind of analysis. But he was saying, whereas in fictionalized stuff, the only time you see him is still just like working behind the counter at a takeaway. And he's like, I know this because these are the only roles that I ever get offered to audition for. Yeah, and this is only just changing now in 2025. Right. Barely. Like it's like a Titanic ship turning really slowly. Yeah. And he's talking about this 10 years ago. Yeah, right. And we can't really... I tell you what as well, this might be a bit of a harsh pivot, but speaking of the times changing, there's my segue. There you go. Did you notice actually the second thing? So the first thing is Netflix. Yeah. The second thing is Weinstein. Yeah. Did you notice this? I did, yeah. Get down, girl. Right, Lilo, enough. Good girl. We have a blue staff here, and she's just saying, I would like to have my input. You stay there and stop moaning. Yeah. So I don't know if there's a connection between all these naked women knocking about for kind of like
And the
for the
Weinstein
gays and the Weinstein of it all.
Oh, no, yeah.
But like even I saw a little interview with Benedict Wong and then the Italian guy playing. I'm just gonna call myself out here. I don't know why I mentioned that he was Italian. That feels weird. Now that we've started talking about race, I'm now like
very aware of it.
Why am I thinking about race? Stop thinking about race.
He was playing an Italian.
Yes, and he is Italian.
The dad.
The Marco Polo guy.
Oh, the main guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was he Italian? Was it?
Yeah. But so it's those two actors together in an interview, and Benedict Wong is going like, "Oh, it's great to see Weinstein and Netflix, these two great corporations working together."
Oh, he actually says that
thing, and it's like, "Fuck!" And how long is that before the Me Too movement kicks into gear?
Can't be long.
Can't be long, right?
No.
When was that? Maybe 2017 or something?
I think it was just pre-pandemic, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. So it's a bit later than I'm remembering. Then maybe it was. So maybe there was like 5 years more of Weinstein at large.
Can't remember. You might be right. It's 17, 18, something like that. I don't think it was quite 2020.
Something like that. And this was 2014. So there's a gap there. But it's just so weird how times shift, isn't it?
It's so weird how this is this big expensive thing, and this like he's flagging Netflix and the Weinstein Corporation coming together, and it was for that.
Right. Yeah. But at that point, it was massive. I think people liked it.
God, it was fucking shit.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
I mean, bless him. He's doing a great role, and it's a big role, and needs a big character, and he is that. Would we call him a character actor?
Oh, that's a great shout.
Which is a phrase I kind of hate because like it feels very American to say that, to be like, the character actor, rather than just like it's just an actor. Because isn't there like what is it There's an old actor who says like, Americans call them character actors and we just call them actors. And like,
great.
Because like there's a movie.
I love that.
Because there's a movie star.
Yeah.
And then there's a character actor.
Yeah.
And that supposes that there's something in between the two. Whereas I would say you've got actors.
Yeah.
And some actors are movie stars.
Yeah. I think both of those are probably compatible with each other. Isn't it that there's character actors and there's lead actors?
Yeah, quite like that. Is Ben Dubs a lead actor?
I think under that analysis, he's a character actor, isn't he?
Mm.
He can play a range of different characters.
Yeah.
And rarely is that the lead of the film.
Rarely. It's normally part of the ensemble. But also, are there actors who are part of the ensemble but play the same person every time and aren't a character actor? The range is so small that you hire them to be that.
They're always that same person, but also that person is never the lead.
Exactly. Like Paul Rudd used to be that before Paul Rudd became really famous and loved. He would be like part of the ensemble cast, but he was always playing the same dude.
He's always that same guy.
And he still is that same guy, pretty much always, apart from maybe that like odd like mute thing that he did with...
oh, yeah.
Is it an Alex Garland film or something?
Is it?
I think it might have been.
Oh, maybe it is.
Was it Alex Garland?
It's got that energy about
it. Or was it the guy who made Moon? What's his name?
Oh. Go on, find out.
Yeah.
I think Moon isn't Alex Garland.
No, it's not. But I'm saying it might be the guy who made Moon might have made Mute.
I think that's right.
Duncan Jones.
Okay, Duncan Jones.
And Duncan Jones made Mute, yeah. Stop writing that email, listener. Mum.
Yeah, because in Mute, he's got teeth missing and is he a bad guy?
I can't say that I've watched the full thing. I watched a bit of it and it wasn't for me, so I just signed up.
Yeah, that one didn't resonate with me hugely.
But Paul Rudd's a good example of someone who was that until he became...
What you've just done there was the ship was just veering wildly over the canal, and you've just grabbed the rope, just tucked it, and then there you go. You're back going along the canal again now.
I have to do it again now after you've just drawn attention to it.
Hey, look, my role in life is to throw waves into the water and see what happens.
Well, I tell you, who tends to steer ships into the right direction is the lead actor of a thing.
But like, be good.
So is Benny is he a character actor then?
I think he must be.
And
right?
Has he been the lead in? Anything?
I was surprised to learn that this Marco Polo thing he wasn't the lead in. I figured, based on the photo that I saw of a man in the 20th century with a suit.
What you thought? So when you saw that guy wearing his brown sort of 1970s inspector.
No, it wasn't. It was more like what you'd expect somebody to wear in Dubai in like 2010.
Oh, okay.
It was like super modern.
Right. So he's doing all that and he's looking suave as fuck. Asian actor.
Yeah.
You thought he's going to be playing the lead, Italian, in Marco Polo, the 13th century drama.
So, all right. I tell you what this show has done for me is it's educated me a little bit about what Marco Polo is.
Yeah.
Previously, my understanding was there's that game
where
you're in the pool.
Yep.
And I think that game is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a fun idea.
Yeah.
And then I know that in Uncharted, he references Marco Polo. And that makes me think that Marco Polo was some sort of explorer.
Some like real guy.
Yeah.
And he probably was.
And that is all that I knew. And now I know, it's something to do with Silk Road, maybe. It's kind of 13th century.
Bringing us back around to the school homework that you had to do of watching this show in the first place.
Yeah, literally. This was like more brutal than if I'd have just had to like learn this as like rote pure information. This was somehow worse.
Yeah, that says something, doesn't it? But I mean, I think what I took away from it, first of all, I could not take seriously someone on an expedition going across the world shouting for someone, going Marco,
yeah,
and then it's literally the guy's name, and all I'm expecting to hear is like from the other side of the room, like Polo.
That's so good, isn't it? Everybody must have that, right?
Maybe being like Ben, and you just going Gladwin.
Yeah, that's such a good
He's
game.
over there. and then the other thing I took away from it, which I lay at the door of our Lord and Savior Benedict Wong, is I'd heard of Kublai Khan. Could not tell you where from. Think it was some sort. Can't tell you where from. I think it was something to do with a song lyric or something about Kublai Khan. Anyway, I've heard of him before.
Okay.
Had not put together that he has any relation to Genghis Khan.
Fair.
Just hadn't even thought about it. Don't even think I thought about it being a person, to be honest. Like a real person. And that, taught me a little bit about history there. Thank you, doggy. But also, like, gave me insight into these characters, these warlord emperors back then, I guess if we're basing this on some sort of like historical fact, would have been these massive dudes, big imposing figures, riches and, like wealth and just people, like, because I was always like this Genghis Khan thing of like there's loads of people still in the world who have blood of Genghis. Yeah. I'm a bit like, who the fuck was this dude?
Yeah.
Like you think about like Napoleon and you find out that he was like this really short kind of unspectacular like white dude, like on the like on the back of a horse, and you're like, oh, okay. You think of Napoleon as like this ginormous Captain America type figure, 6'5", dense, and then it put Genghis Khan into context for me, into context,
and
I was like, you know what, whether the casting is realistic or not, and I'm taking it for what it is and thinking that it is realistic. I was like, fair play.
Yeah,
and it's coming back to the fact that he's well cast in that role.
Yeah,
and I was like, you can understand how this guy would have been such a like force, such a titan,
right? Because he's literally imposing in the moment as well as being, playing the widest scale war politics and chess. That
reminded me of Kingpin. Kingpin out like the Spider-Man thing, like this big dude, and you have a go at him, and he just towers over you and just picks you up and doesn't even.
Yeah, right.
Which is kind of how you think about these warlords, and I think whether it's historically true or not, and like I say, I'm just taking it that it is.
Yeah,
I think he does an amazing job of that.
I think it makes sense, and it makes sense as well that the person with all the power in that era would be a really big person, because like they're gonna eat all this food, and that's like part of their vibe is like, look at me go.
Yeah, and he's like probably got to that point, one by bloodline, but two by being like, or maybe the first person got there, be like, I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't do what I say, because look at me.
Exactly.
I am huge.
You can imagine all those little moments that lead to that, like if anybody messes with him.
So
as a quick point, apparently the whole Napoleon being short thing is a bit of a
myth, isn't it?
Misnomer,
right.
And that he was quite average for the time.
Right.
But maybe to your point, that still might be unusual in that he wasn't huge, and that most generals...
That is more my point. The fact that he's just not massive, and you think about people being massive, and like, Henry VIII or whatever's got this big thing about being this just massive dude.
Yeah.
And so yeah, whether it's I guess saying if someone's short or not, it kind of is not really by the by. What I mean is that like they weren't imposing, physically dominant. Whereas I guess Napoleon's thing is that he was like clever, like he didn't think, what do they call him, like a horizontal thinker or something like that.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, fucking Napoleon, short ass thicko.
All right, I think. Right, what do you think? Is there anything else we need to touch on with Marco Polo?
No, I think this one's a bit of a shame. I mean, I know we're early in the series of Benedict Wong. the Wong decision. So it's good to get a bit of a duff
out the way.
Yeah, a bit of a dud out the way.
Yeah.
Like early on. Like.
Well, that leads me on to my closing question.
Mm-hmm.
Did Benedict Wong make the Wong decision by saying yes to this show?
You know what? No. As much as I think this is a misstep and it's not for me, I didn't like it, I think he's perfect for that part.
Yeah.
I think he's perfect for that part.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree.
And I bet he got paid.
Yeah, he must have, right? I think one of the things they were saying is that this was like one of the first international shows. It got released in 53 territories at once.
Right.
And that was like one of the first times that had happened.
Right.
And you hear things like that and it's like, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Go on, Salford.
It's full on, your mum and dad like it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Your mum and dad go, oh, I'm watching this show called Marco Polo. And your dad's like, yeah, great history about
Yeah.
like the Mongolian Empire and stuff. Like, all right, cool, Dad, I'm not watching that though.
Yeah.
So, no, he didn't make the Wong decision. How about for you?
I'd be inclined to agree. I totally agree.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like,
the benefit of the Wong. I'm giving him the Benedict of the Wong on this one.
Oh, there we go. People were screaming that.
No, I think it's good. I have a quick closing thought for you, which maybe we'll cut this. I don't know. But when you said about your mum and dad like it, I was like, I can't put my head into a space where my parents are watching something together.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah. I guess I'm in a similar situation with that one.
But let's deal with it. All right, so if we're calling it a binary Wong decision versus not, we've got 1 for 2 or 2 for 1. We're recording out of order, so I actually don't know what our running total is.
Well, I'm assuming, and we can just we can either leave this in or cut it, but I'm assuming it's going to be 2-0 to Wong.
Should we, just for options, we'll get both. So that's 2 for 1, or that's 1 for 2.
One. Yeah, I think this like nightmare, not nightmare. It's not a nightmare. This poor show, the show that we weren't huge fans of so early on in the series, actually opens the scope of what the Wong decision is.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean that the thing is good necessarily. It's just whether we think that he made the right decision in being in it. And I think he did. It was a great role for him. I struggle to think of anyone else who would deliver what he delivers to it. And he got paid. So, like, fair play.
And as we always say, our closing mantra, he got paid.
Get paid.
So, yeah, I think that's us.
Sweet.
We'll close it out. Peace.
And
then just imagine boom, 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 Wong decision.
Oh, he's got. Have you made it already?
Boom, boom.
Or is this
Wong
it?
Decision.
Am I stepping all over it?
Wong decision. A quick smoke insert from the future. We forgot to throw to next week's episode, but we're watching Bladerunner 2036 Nexus Dawn. It is a 5-minute short. It's available on YouTube if you want to watch along. Okay, thanks.